What is up, YouTubers, gamers, and fellow hobbyists out there? Welcome to Chill with Pete, the coffee break bite-sized chunk of mini Warzone channel information updates. It's kind of like on the bench, but just bullet pointed, I guess. I don't go into things in as much detail. Although that said, sometimes I might. There's also a test run actually for one of my batteries in my cameras, to see how well it does, because when I move there's going to be a lot of remote filming, various things, various reasons. So I am just trying to ascertain the condition of the batteries I've got. I've had a fair few years, some of them. Some are newer than others, but ultimately I need to know, how long I can rely on a battery before it gives up the ghost, that kind of thing. That said, I'm looking at I don't know what you call it or refer to it as, like a field camera, if you will. I'd rather keep these two cameras I've got here now, my Sony ones, for studio-based work, if I could. But maybe the odd outside one. Whereas I'm looking at getting a camera just for outside stuff. I know I can film on my phone. But sometimes it can take a little while to render when using my phone. It's just, I don't know, the res is too high or something. I don't know. I can set the resolution on the cameras. I'm just a technical dinosaur. I haven't worked out how to do it on my phone yet, but we'll see. But yeah, so jabbering on about nonsense already. I've got a cup of tea, by the way, so I'm going to have a sip of that now. This is a weekend of Take It Easy, which, to be honest, we need it. We are at what I would estimate or guesstimate would be the halfway point of moving house, relocating. Yeah, we're kind of at the halfway point. So it's like we've come too far to give up now. We're nearly there. Well, we're not nearly there. We're about halfway, as I say. We're about halfway in terms of all the stuff that has to happen. So the excitement is still there. The energy is not. So don't go expecting any Dwarves of Fangorn anytime soon. That said, I have heard it mentioned about that. I am planning on finishing that off, but it is not going to be till we move to Seaton now. But then I've got such good plans for role-playing once we get to Seaton. Honestly, it's going to be phases, though. There'll be a phase of role-playing, then there'll be a phase of Warhammer, and then there'll be a phase of something else. And that's what it's going to be like. Due to the fact of my new studio will be a different shape, certainly, and a different size, and where I'm going to keep stuff and all that kind of thing. Table is going to be different, obviously. My current painting table is going to be my gaming table. That will be my gaming table. That will be my go-to gaming table. I'm even thinking maybe I could get some green felt laid on top of it, a bit like a snooker table kind of thing. I don't know. Jury's out on that one, but we'll see. I might just use it and lay mats down. I don't know, but that's all to come. It's got wheels on them. I'm going to take them off because I put the wheels on it just so I could move my studio around here. But I think once I'm set up in Seaton, and that won't be for some time, even after we get there, because things need to be done before we can sort stuff out and store it properly. I.e., we will need our loft boarding out, so we're going to need that done first before we can start storing stuff away. And once we start storing stuff away, I'll have the space then to be able to do my hobby, which is cool. And of course I will be starting my new channel once we get there as well. So there'll be a lot of preparation and groundwork for that as well. So that's going to be a thing. I'm going to be documenting like local history and all sorts of good stuff for that. Really excited about that. And of course, location-based shoots where, which is another reason I wanted to test the battery, because it might be a while until I get another camera for that. It really is just down to the health of the batteries. The cameras themselves are absolutely spot on; they're fine. But when I want to go to places like Seton Hall or things like that, obviously I won't be going there in the at the height of winter. That would just be nuts. I'm not doing that. But there are plenty of other places I can go. It's just a matter of jogging my memory from when I was a child, get there, film, and Bob's your uncle, basically. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to going to the wetlands, sharing that with you, because that's a really beautiful place. I mean, the whole place is it's in what they call in England an area of outstanding natural beauty. The AOB, it's known as, in terms for like planning and councils and things like that. It's known as the AOB. So you can't just build there or anything like that. It's because it's an area of outstanding natural beauty. There's too many rules and regulations. They don't want to destroy that. So yeah, it gives you an idea of how cool it is. But I think you know that already. What's the other thing? Packing up wise. Oh, we've had 3 quotes now for removals, and have included studio contents on each one, just to kind of overestimate and give an idea of cost, because in all honesty, a lot of it I think can just be, a lot of this can be done myself. Paints though, even the little Citadel pots and things like that, all paints must be in a container. Can't just stick them in the drawer in an open box on a van. You just can't do that. But I'm planning on doing my own paints anyway, so I'm not even worried about that. I'm just going to do it myself. And the models, of course. Books as well. Well, role-playing books and all the tools I've got for solo, that's coming with me too. Other stuff, homemade scenery and things like that. I mean, I don't know. I made an awful lot of trees back in the day. If you remember, way back when Mini Wargaming first started doing narrative campaigns for Warhammer, their very, very first one was called The Fate of Fayum, and I recreated that here in the studio right here, and I faithfully recreated that. Used an awful lot of trees. It needed a lot of trees to do it. The planet of Fayum, to recreate that, and I did that. It was like Necrons versus Tyranids, which was interesting, by the way. I didn't get to film the game, but I did do, I think something happened to the footage. It was several years ago, but I did manage to recover my what do you call it, like thoughts of and interpretations of it. And if I find that, I'll stick it in the corner for you. Yeah, might be worthwhile. You can always check it out yourself then, see what you think and how you think it compared. Because essentially, I was comparing the same game being played through when that campaign came out. I think it was 6th edition Warhammer 40k, and I was recreating it with 7th edition rules, I think, at the time. Might have even been 8th, I don't know. But anyway, and I was just going through my thoughts on what the differences, the main differences were. The outcome was incredibly different. But I used exactly the same models, exactly the same scenery, and the table layout was all as identical to faithfully recreating it as I could. So I found it interesting. So when I move, my filming is probably going to be less all over the place like it is now. Although that said, I've been doing role-playing stuff for quite some time. That's because the only other thing I've got out is Warhammer 40k, a couple of bolt action bits. Everything else I'm reluctant to open up and start because I'm going to be moving. Even my Castle Ravenloft board game, I'm not starting painting that because, or my Lost Patrol. You know, I've got it right here. You know, that one there. That's all still on the sprues and things. You know, even that, I'm reluctant to start painting up and that because I don't want to be in the middle of stuff when I go on. I know a lot of stuff will be half done, but I don't need any extra stuff half done when I'm moving, you know, for ease of sorting it out at the other end. A lot of my paints will be going in terms of my half-used rattle cannons. I got two choices with the paints: either just bag them all up and take them, because my car, I can't take the rainbow coloured draw in my car without Rufus, my dog, because my dog's coming up, because it won't fit. Then, like I say, if I'm doing self-storage, which I've talked about before, I might well do that. Right, what time have I got here now? 11 minutes. That's not bad. And at 1 bar down on a battery, again, that's not bad. Not bad at all. I'm really hoping to put this through its paces a little bit, the battery, so that, you know, I can really ascertain the lifespan of a fully charged battery. Although this wasn't really fully charged, it just happened to have 3 bars on it, but that's fine. What else? Oh yeah, the courtyard at the back where we're hopefully moving, I want to move that around. There's a little shed thing that I want to move from one side to the other so we can have more of the sun spot where we sit. We're going to have a little table and a couple of chairs out there. It's going to be really nice. Next summer is going to be fantabulous. You know, I can't wait. It's just going to be awesome. Probably maybe the odd barbecue, I don't know. Sounds like our daughter's going to be coming out quite often, especially during the summer. But then we're going to be coming down every so often too. So it's going to be a mix of her coming up to Seaton and us going down to Plymouth. Although mostly it'll probably be Mrs. Mini Warzone doing that because of looking after the animals. Because she'll probably want to stay overnight if she comes down. And you never know, there might be the odd occasion because of work. Might be the very, very rare occasion I might have to come down to go on site, but really it's not going to be that often at all. Going down to one car, I told you guys that before. It's all money saving stuff, you know. We don't need 2 cars, especially when we live there. We're just not going to need it. Have some more tea, I think. So when we move, we'll be moving in winter, so we'll be seeing it at its worst place. So that's going to be interesting stuff. Hopefully we'll have settled in by then. We'll have had a lot of work done on the house. I know there's some work you can't have. Not that the house needs lots of work, just that, you know, you want to make it your own, don't you? I want to get some guttering fixed and things like that, stuff like that. But things like boarding out the loft and that kind of thing, putting new lights in. I want to get LED lights like I got out here. I'd quite like LED lighting in the loft as well because these lights are phenomenal. We used to have those old-fashioned ones that used to flicker, and you know, you flick them on, and an hour later they burst into life. You know, like, but I'm exaggerating a bit. You might have noticed, but these they're on, and then turn them off, they're off. You know, and so much brighter and better for the eyes. Been getting a lot of headaches lately. I think it's stress related. And I will talk more about that on the bench. But yeah, I've been getting stress related headaches. At least I think they're stress related headaches, largely due to the move, I think, and living the way we're living. That's what I'm putting it down to. And so the last thing I want when we move is to go back to the old lights, which are a lot dimmer and more orange. more prone to headache because, of the flickering effect they have, whereas the LED lights are just constant. I've got a lot of desk LED lights as well, which is going to be helpful, so I'm going to make full use of that, because the first thing I need setting up in our new home will be my new work area for work, not hobby, work. I've got a little alcove downstairs where I'm excited to be using, and there's a light right above it in the middle, but I want a LED light to put in, of course. And we're going to want LED lights put throughout, and in the bedrooms, or at least 2 of the bedrooms, I'm going to want LED fan lights, ceiling fan, lights, because in the summer you need it, you really do, and they're a godsend. So that's going to be a thing. And I think in a hobby room as well, rather than have fans blowing on you and blowing your paint dry right next to you and that as you're trying to paint, and just have the air circulating above. Be quieter as well, I think, than having a fan going. 'Cause sometimes when you're filming, you don't want the fan going, and I've had to turn my fan off before in the summer so that I can hear myself properly. Otherwise, it just is off-putting when you're trying to film. What else? What else do I have to talk about? There's nothing really to update you on, move-wise. Like I say, we're about halfway through the process now. Keep your fingers crossed. Keep those prayers coming in. Talking of things coming in, get those questions in, man. There's going to be a Halloween P&Q. And I've got some questions, which I'm excited about. A friend of mine gave me a really good question. But he's not on YouTube, so I can't even shout out for him. He's not even on any social media, so I can't do any shout outs for him to promote him on there or anything. But yeah, there's a really good question coming up on that, which I think is pertinent to all of us hobbyists. So I was like, I'm going to use this on my Q&A on my YouTube. He's like, yeah, whatever, It's just what else? But yes, get some questions or comments to me, please, please, please. The Halloween P&Q special is probably going to be the last P&Q I do in Plymouth. Probably going to be the last one I do. So it would be awesome to have you on board for that. I might ask myself a question, how do I feel about leaving it all behind? That kind of something like that. Anyway, another sip of tea coming up. I don't have tea very often during the week. If I do, it'll be in the afternoon after work, most likely, or within the last sort of hour of my working day. Because I'm a morning coffee person personally, and that's what I like. So I've got some bits to put away, which I'm going to do before I start my on the bench, and then it's just painting. I've got to get stuff painted. I've got a lovely big tent, 3D printed tent that I'd like to show you guys at some point. I've literally just primed it. It's outside drying. I sprayed it with Mechanica Standard Grey to prime it. You've seen some of my other tents, but this is a big one. It's going to be, I can use it for a circus. It's just really, really awesome. I think it's called the Fabian the Witch, there's a 5th edition D&D campaign booklet, book. I don't know why I called it a booklet. It's a book. It's a hardback book that deals with that. And I'm going to be using a lot of scenery because I'm wanting to do more solo RPG videos for you, because I just think that'd be super cool. I really do. I'd like to go through all my tools separately, properly, and catalogue everything I've got, and then I can cross-reference on the channel. I have thought in the past about splitting my channel up into RPG, board gaming, but I'm not going to do that. So essentially when I move, I'm going to be giving up a wargaming table. And if, you know, when I wargame in Seaton, it'll probably be at the local club, because they've got tables. I can just go there, literally just down the road from me. I can do that. To the point where it's so close, if I think, oh, I've forgotten some dice, I'll just nip back home and get them literally 2 minutes away. But if I did want to wargame at home, I could set up a table outside in the courtyard. I could do that. Would be outside, of course, but I probably wouldn't film that, because that'd just be between friends. But we'll see. You know, once I get to Seaton, I can sort of start, you know, getting known, meeting new people, all that kind of good stuff. You know, anybody in Seaton wants to hook up, get a game in of anything, we'll do that. So that's going to be awesome. I'll just finish off my tea a minute. And that's it, my tea. My I Love Pennywell. You know, that used to be red. I think it's the dishwasher that takes the colour out. But that's it. That's it, guys. That's my... that is my Chill with Pete concluded. 22 minutes. It has gone on a little while. But that's okay. So... battery's about halfway down. It's not fully charged. That ain't bad. That means I think I can safely do a P&Q or something like that, or a Chill with Pete in a beautiful location. As long as the battery's charged to start with, I can do that. So I consider this test successful, a successful run. And yeah, I will, before I wrap up, just hit that like button if you would. Really helps me out. Really helps me out. No end. And if you want to share, that would be cool. I know not everybody's cool with sharing these, because, you know. But yeah, hit the like button at least. That would be really, really awesome. If you do want to help me out in a serious way, check out my Patreon campaign. You're all welcome. Exclusive videos on board for that, different tiers. You will get things like behind the scenes and that kind of thing at tier 1, which is just $1 a month. So, you know, go on, give it a go. You can always cancel it later. And yeah, so that would all be welcome. Thank you so much. Right, all that remains for me to say is thank you for watching. Remember, all brushes lead to war. I'll see you on another video, and bye for now. Bye bye.